All right, so new day. Here I am. I just took a couple of losses, like quick ones. Actually, I had made I would say that pretty quick and mistake on NQ. I just reacted pretty fast to the at the open, so I just got up. I'm 140 or something loss, which is still okay, but still. Then I still a couple of losses there. I think I took one small one loss on gold, and then now so far I sold the first buy when it was rejecting. It was rejecting below yesterday's close and then it's very lower. So I sold the break pretty much, and now it's retesting again that level. And let's see if I get stopped out. I actually reduced my risk. It was like 100 earlier. Now I'm like 70 or something. Seems like I might get stopped out, but still, I mean, I don't know. Let's see what it does. It might reject, or let's see what it wants to do from here. I'm gonna remain a little bit on the sidelines. I wanna see what happens with NQ and this close. If it is above the open, we'll see what I do. But so far, I'm gonna wait. Also on gold, I have the sell. I'm gonna increase if this bar continues
Order
to
filled.
reject and then break its own low. If it doesn't, then I'm just gonna probably most likely get a stop out at 55 there. Well, the session started pretty quick and bad, I would say. I noticed that I was feeling like for some reason like some sort of rush, and that's basically how I started trading, and that's basically what my numbers are showing. Right now in a decent trade on NQ, I'm like have a small risk basically, and same for the Dow, which is nearly getting stopped out. It seems to want to push after it broke this 50 minutes, basically, well, these 5 minutes up high of the bar. And Q seems to be pushing a little bit, but not yet like enough, I would say. So I'm just why I'm reducing my risk, but definitely, well, I'm putting myself somewhat at minus 600 now. So I want to see if there is a gut feel push. I mean, after this is the news bar, I got a little stopped up at a small loss earlier here with the news. I just was a little late to move to break even, so
Order
pretty much yeah,
filled.
I suffered a small loss there, but still, I want to see if NQ pushes. If it doesn't, well, we'll see. But I believe that if it pushes, it could push beyond yesterday's highs and also well the gut feel, but we'll see. I'm gonna just let it be a little while. At this point, I'm gonna reduce my risk to zero and see if there is a further push. I decided to execute again on the Dow because I know there's a rejection again of this level, so it doesn't seem like you want to trade lower, even though I just got stopped out basically. So yeah, I bought again 4 contracts this time. I'm not growing my position like I did before, which I was a 6. I'm assuming the risk at the current bar low. I want to see if it should continue pushing from here. If it does not, then I'm just probably just wrong, and then I should not continue executing on the upside on the down for now at least. Well, I don't know, this fifth bar just way too lower, small stop there. I'm break even on Nasdaq. Dow got stopped out a small loss. Then I just bought previous bar low with the retest of the level, also above the open. It's rejected nicely, but then it's still somewhat hanging around. I'm not sure yet. I want to see this bar breaking its own high in order to be somewhat confident about this trade. And then if it breaks its own high and this bar here, I'm gonna reduce my risk pretty much to none. Right now I already reduced to like 20, which is fine. And then on gold, I bought the retest of the gap closure after it closed somewhat within or a little bit above. But yeah, I'm long there with the 2 contracts, which I also reduced my risk already. I had somewhere around here like close to 80 or something. Now it's around 60. And let's see. Seems like, well, didn't start the best, but still I need to somewhat calm myself down and remain patient and maybe just try to see if I can catch like, well, a better trade and then just somewhat a better confirmation. One thing I'm monitoring is that, for example, the goal, yes, it is going up, but the volume itself is not so good. Same for the Dow and Nasdaq. Somewhat had a good spike here, but then the price is not really answering. So it is possible that it actually does not want to try. I'm gonna close the Dow here.
Order filled.
It might doesn't want to trade higher and rather just short. So I want to see if there is a close below this daily level from yesterday. I might just short the Dow as well, but I'm gonna continue waiting and see. Well, the Dow wouldn't continue. I at that point this bar was somewhat here, the high, so I did reduce my risk to pretty much like 20. So I got to stop out there after this bar is just pushing. And Q, what I did was I just sold the inside bar to the low after it seems to fail to the, yesterday's highs. And well, yeah, I think this is a good setup for me. I don't know if it's gonna work definitely, but I think it was good. And then same for gold. I noticed this good close after the sweep this year and closing the gap. So I went short basically on the break of the bar. I was using this current sixth bar as my stop, the high. And then, well, I reduced my risk a little bit by something like 20, almost 30. So yeah, gonna see. Doesn't seem like NQ maybe wanna continue lower. So yeah, at this point, I think I'm too deep also on drawdown. Let's see what's gonna happen, and definitely, of course, I would like to see some sort of like in favor of myself price action. But let's see, I'm giving Nast a little bit of room because well, if I am to be on the right side of the market, then this bar should not break its own high. But let's see. I want to see if it comes to the open, and then eventually if it gets somewhat near the open, I probably would use my risk to almost none and see what it does from there. It down, like it's going to hell, but then it just comes up, retrace, and then bye bye. So I'm letting it be for a little bit. I think the trade overall is actually quite good. So I want to see NQ. I want to see definitely this bar if it closes somewhat below the open or at least below the low, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna wait a little bit more. Okay, I wanted to point this out because I just made a small mistake. I thought I wanted to sell the Dow on the break of this bar below the range, but then by mistake I noticed that I changed the link of the thing, so I actually was tagged on gold. So I had one contract basically, so I short 2 times more, so I grow my position to 5 contracts on gold. Luckily, it is still like trading lower, so I pretty much managed to remain at a decent level, break even. But I still like it's not a good thing that it happened, but well, happens sometimes. At least I'm not like assuming like any extra risk. So I think that's in a way is good, but still that's not the way that I wanted to add to a position. So I'm gonna let it run definitely because like I said, I have no risk. And MQ, well, let's see. MQ seems to still be like now, for example, rejecting of the lows, but we'll see what happens. And I decided to, instead of holding further that gap fill or whatever, I would like to see, for example, gold if it closes below this range here, and if it then tanks maybe to this retest or whatever. I'm measuring. I have -1 standard deviation from projected from the swing to the low. But let's see. Let's see if he wants to get further down, and also I want to see NQ if he wants to answer. But so far, doesn't seem so clean, so I might get a stop out and break even there. Let's see. Well, gold, like I said, actually just came back and stopped me out of break even. Then I short again, took a small loss, and then I noticed the retest of this swing here above this previous bar. So I sold again, pretty much and break even again here. But yeah, I think I still like the second trade. I just misbehaved. I shouldn't have shorted the first trade that I did actually. So I'm keeping the same target. I believe it should be that -1 standard deviation here. Yeah, somewhat. So yeah, pretty much here. And let's see. Let's see. I like the fact that this bar rejected nicely, and then also is breaking its own low, and it seems to be tanking. But we'll see. Like goal is you never know, like what was likely to happen. But sadly, I left like plus 600 in that trade. So yeah. Anyway, it happened. So nothing to do. I'm still have a NQ, which seems to be didn't want to trade to the previous bar high, which is a good sign. And I want to see. Well, if it is to tank and continue, well, it'll be nice. But if not, then we'll see. I guess I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna check also what is the -1 on NQ. Well, it's around the daily level, so yeah, I think it's fine. Initially, I'm going for the open. That's also I think is valid, so I'm gonna let it be there. There's something I'm noticing, especially on the Dow. Well, there was a nice peak volume to the downside, which is well, it clearly didn't want to go anywhere, so now it's trading higher. I'm gonna see if this bar closes above the swing, and maybe I could take a long, but so far I'm gonna wait. MQ, it was initially trading lower, now it's not, so I'm gonna see. It might take the previous bar low and reject, or might take the previous bar high and reject, or maybe just take the previous bar high and continues higher. So let's see. I decided to buy the Dow on the break of this bar, and the main reason is because the bar at this point is also breaking the inside bar high after the rejection of the low. So I might get a stop out there. We'll see, but I think it was still like okay trade to take. So let's see. Anyway, I'm just watching a little bit on the sidelines. Dow is the gold is retesting now. I don't know if it's gonna come and stop me out on break even. Dow is break even for now as well. It's pushing knife to the upside. And what I'm saying is, it feels like they are disconnected, Dow from Nasdaq, for example, and kind of ES as well. So I don't know, for example, if this now, for example, I was a good entry on the inside bar low. Fair enough. Now it's breaking again the inside bar low. I do definitely want to see a further push and a break. Of course, I close below the inside bar, but I'm not sure like if I have all of that with me, to be honest. Like I'm not sure if it is to continue lower. It could, possibly just come and take these lows here and then reject. But of course, that's just an anticipation of myself. I have no idea exactly what's going to happen. I'm just want to, just watching to see. Definitely, of course, I would like to see a further push, but it might be that I just close the trade soon if it doesn't really get to, like, at least these lows and whatever. Yeah, I think at this point I'm somewhat over engaging, if not more than somewhat. I'm nearly 1K down now. I'm break even on gold again. I'm break even on the Dow. Nasdaq, I decided to buy because I thought that initially this bar took the low of the inside bar, but then it did not. So let's see if he pushes higher and he breaks these bars here. I'm gonna then remove my risk to pretty much none. But yeah, I think I'm probably just going too far today, and then yeah, this is the hardest thing to do, I believe, which is the stopping part of the losing day. So yeah, I need to do my best. I need to get there, and let's see. I don't know. I feel like well, Dow is quite strong, which I like. I mean, it's behaving what I initially thought it would, but then let's see. Also, I waited for gold to try a little higher so I can go break even, which I did. The only one that it seems to be hesitating now is NQ, so see what happens from here. All right, so what I'm doing here is same thing, waiting on gold and NQ. Sorry, on the Dow and NQ. I have this line here. I just want to see when it breaks. When that breaks, of course, even now, even I'm gonna reduce my risk. I want to see definitely a break of these inside bars and a close above them to kind of maybe anticipate a further push. But so far, it's getting good. Like I said, I have left quite a bunch of already on the table, but I definitely want to see if there's a further push on NQ and well and everything together. And let's see if the cumulative profit gets somewhere decent. So maybe I think about closing the trade later. Not like I'm trading for break even, but I think definitely I want to see, like some sort of like push. The AES is not even also clean as it should. But yeah, I want to see definitely the break on NQ here. This is the one that I'm like monitoring the most because so far gold and the Dow they are pretty much strong. So I want to see, for example, like now or maybe soon NQ just pushing and breaking above this small range here and maybe continue higher. Let's see. Oh, NQ earlier got a stop out, break even, and then, well, gold also has some sort of rejection here. Now it's kind of trading somewhat there still. Dow as well, there was a down bar, but I'm also thinking that I've seen also this many times, it could definitely come out and, again, I will leave so much money on the table, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, it's also normal. Like it is also like when there's a normal push. I mean, price is clearly saying that you want to trade higher. For example, NQ is now. I'm gonna reduce my risk soon on NQ. The point is, I mean, there's no point to be scared either, right? I mean, it's just, yeah, it's not a good day, but also there's no point to kind of, try to kind of blame yourself or just, you just don't overthink about it. Just let it be. Let's see what it does from here. I'm gonna of course start reducing my risk soon on NQ because basically if it is now to trade lower and then break this here, then I'm pretty much wrong. So what's the point of taking a loss? So yeah, I'm letting it run a little bit and then let's see. Anyway, just as a quick update, well, NQ got stopped out again on break even. This bar just took the high. I thought it was gonna push, but then it did not. So I just got stopped out pretty much there. One thing I'm noticing is, like it's kind of getting dirty. Yeah, I know that I'm already like pretty much done quite by far. But the thing is also, I notice as well, like my brain is too much thinking into equity rather than trading, like process and everything. So that makes no sense. So I'm stepping away from these two trades. I'm gonna let it be a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna stop me out on break even. Like I said, I was a little bit annoyed because I've left so much money. Like I think like 1.4, maybe 1.5k on the table, and yet I'm still like 1k down. So kind of feels bad, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to myself, but part of this. So let's see. Well, I waited. Thank you. I was initially thinking about buying here, but then I just said like it makes some sense because it's within the range, and I wasn't 100% sure. So I decided to then just wait for the rejection and see. I noticed that the gold and the Dow they are somewhat answering to the upside. I like this inside bar on the gold, which is breaking now on the heights. And then NQ, well, I just literally bought here this bar when it was breaking its own high. I bought there, and then this next bar is literally broke above, and then it's trading a little higher. I want to see if it breaks the highs here, and then I will just pretty much go break even. I already reduced my risk because, well, I think this is actually a good management and good idea. So pretty much want to continue doing the same as long as it trades higher. Like I said, I want to see if it breaks the high and hopefully maybe closes above, but we'll see. Hey, just again,
Order
small
filled.
memory. I noticed like I was getting a little bit, kind of scared and shit, but it really makes no sense. Regardless of the day, it's really stupid. So and Q now, like I said, I bought earlier. It now just gonna start on break even here. I don't know if it is to push or whatever. It broke the high, it didn't close how I wanted, but still, not the best, not the worst, but yeah. I think I'm gonna buy again the high of this bar
Order filled.
and again the same low of this actual bar and go again for the upside. Let's see if it push, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Gold remains somewhat ranging there. I don't know if it is to break above. Now the Dow is breaking, but let's see. See if there's a further push. Of course, I want to see if taking the highs, maybe closing above, so if to in order to see like a further upside, maybe for yesterday's high or something. But we'll see. I'm gonna reduce Q risk as usual, just as soon as if it breaks the highs and whatever. So far I have like 60, around 60 minus on the current bar low. So let's see what happens. But for some reason it didn't work. So yeah, I closed the Dow basically as I noticed it failed on this high here, and same for gold. I noticed it took the high here, but then it wouldn't reject. I'm now checking for the 15-minute time frame, but I thought that it would not push higher, but then it did not. So I just closed it there. And NQ I decided because it's quite a strong and it still is yet to meet the daily high. I have the target here like a -1 from this low to this swing, but it might not, even get to the high, but we'll see. I think it just seems to be the strongest. Also together with the ES, that's why I'm keeping NQ open. I believe that at least it should get to this high here, but we'll see. Definitely, I want to see when it gets there, if it gets there, how it closes and how it behaves, because it doesn't seem so far that I want to trade lower. So I'm letting it be for a little bit. So far, I managed to recover some, so I'm now like minus 430 or something like that on drawdown. But still, like that's not a problem. So like I said earlier, one thing that I also forgot to mention is that on Dow before I closed the trade, I managed to, I would say, overcome fear because I was scared here and I was like, yeah, man, fucking makes no sense. So in this actual bar here before the rejection, I bought one more here and then I closed it pretty much on break even that trade basically. Well, I mean, overall the whole trade is closed, but I mean only this add up basically. So yeah, I think it was a good execution regardless of me closing the trade afterwards because, like I said, I think it's a good way to just fight fears because sometimes some fears they just come out of the blue and we don't even know why, but overall it just makes no sense. Even if it's a red day, well, it is a red day, no can do, but it makes no sense to be scared. I think, especially when you are on the right side of the market, I think it's a good thing to fight the urge to, let's say, get out or something instead of getting out when you shouldn't. You just grow the position. Like I think it's a good thing, not out of greed, not out of anything. It's just to tell myself that there's no point to be scared about anything. So they just let the market play how we should play. I have to remain more patient because I think I have not been enough overall. So yeah, I'm gonna let NQ play a little bit further. I want to see when he gets to the highs here and see what happens after that.